imagine, like, this is very just this game specific.
I'm sorry, the 3 o'clock or whatever. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but now just imagine I took that hatchery and I put it over there. Here with his army here, he's gonna be able to kill it, even if I bring all my roaches and everything.
And
right?
I totally agree with that. But if he, but again, back to that mobility thing. If the Protoss decides that he wants to move over and kill that, then you remember what you were saying about ZVT? Yeah. Why not throw down 4 spines at your base? Yeah.
Yep, that's very true. And just at this point, I thought I was far enough ahead. Like if you look at units, I have 43 to 31. So in this case, I was like, I don't even want to trade. I just think I can out macro you with this.
Okay.
I didn't want to leave anything to chance because, you know, every once in a while the Protoss is like, I'm not even going to go to your expansion. I'm just going to pretend to, and then I'm going to force field you while you're out of position, and then I can kill your main.
Sure, crazy shit like that.
Yeah, and like you get one force field on the ramp, and a lot of times they're just like, oh, well, I'm screwed. That was fun, and then you just die. But with this sort of play, like even if I put that 3rd hatch at my other base, I'd have like just another little bit of close production. I was worried about the sort of push.
Okay.
But in general, yeah, I'm perfectly fine as long as I have, you know, enough lings, or he's playing defensive, or he's playing a macro game. You know, I kind of popped in with those Zerglings and I saw, you really don't have that many probes, you're not really ready to expand, you're not using your chrono boost that well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I can hold off here, I can win.
Sure, okay.
So that was my logic for this.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
And of course, never leave your overlords right there.
Oh, yes.
If you do, just try and poke at them while they're attacking. Sad overlord. I didn't mean for him to die. Anyway, so here I just always start off with roach, and then I'll generally go into hydras. I usually get like roachling against this sort of early composition that he's doing, though. I feel like it kind of just prevents him from taking a 3rd. Kind of forces him into immortals, which is what I want him to go, and then I can switch to hydras. Is the theory behind this.
Sure.
It's kind of like a prey he isn't going flying units build. But I saw in his base, so I was pretty sure I could be safe. If I saw it, I would instantly throw down spore crawlers everywhere. And at this point, having that macro hatch is pretty baller. Like, I have enough of this force here where I think even if he was outside of his base, I could just have enough macro to it that I'd be able to kill it and just kill his 3rd right away. Sure. Even with like immortals as well as lings. Okay. Here I run away because like I want to bring my other units into the fray, and I'm actually getting hydras at this point too, you know, but in a lot of situations it is much better to just take your 3rd as opposed to doing what I did with macro hatch.
Okay.
Once again, just because I sent those lings in to harass him, I feel like I didn't have a strong enough army to counter. Anyway, here I just attack, whatever.
One thing that I don't like, and this is a general comment, and I hate to say this, cry about Zerg, blah blah, but I feel like a lot of even Protoss players, even fairly high-level Protoss players, I feel like they don't use force field well enough. Like, I think that the dynamic of the matchup can change a lot. Man, I wish somebody showed me some game. I wish I could remember it. It was a PvZ on Shakuris, where the guy, the Zerg was doing the Roach Hydra Corruptor thing, but the Protoss force fields was just, it was disgusting. Like, whoosh, like slice off a 3rd of the units, roast them with Colossus, slice off another 3rd.
Yeah. The only thing you can do against that is run back.
Yeah. Well, but then the problem with that is that every single time you run back, you're retreating with a 3rd of your army. You know, a 3rd of your army is missing every time you retreat, and it gets to the point where the Protoss doesn't even need force field. I think it might have been in control versus ret.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that happens. The only thing you can really deal with it is try not to engage in a place where there's like a small area. You want to be able to come in from 2 directions.
Yeah, sure.
But even then, you know, it's hard. And then this Protoss is just like, oh, well, I don't want to have to deal with your army now, I'm just going to max up. And so I just did this sort of build here, where you just get 5 bazillion drones and max up everything.
Yeah, sure, so this is pretty much straightforward. He's going to move out, even if he kills most of your army, you can remax instantaneously, because you've got, well, the army is 140 to 200.
Exactly.
Okay, so I see why you didn't want to show me.
Yeah, sorry. I do get some corruptors because I see all those Colossus, but yeah, it's not like I can teach you too much from this replay.
Do you ever try Mutiling versus Protoss?
It's really something you only want to do though when you've scouted really well on the Protoss. And you see he has really early robo.
Okay.
That's when it's viable, in my opinion. Like look here, I lost my entire army. I have all these corruptors and they're kind of useless.
Yeah, but at this point it's 4 bases with a gold, yeah, so it doesn't even matter.
You kind of just you have to expect to lose that fight. That's pretty much all it is.
Sure.
You just You know, you have all these corruptors, so you know we can't make that unit, so just make Hydras.
Oh wait, okay. Hey, I'm gonna ask this question right now. Somebody just pointed this out. I didn't even realize this. What's up with your hotkeys?
What's up with my hotkeys?
I see hatcheries on 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You and me have both played Brood War for however many years.
Yeah.
These are my Brood War keys. I've always just used them.
Oh boy. Okay.
I find like if you look at my queens, this game probably isn't that great. But I usually don't have a big problem with them.
Oh, you don't have your queens hotkeyed at all. Okay.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So this is kind of like I actually individually hotkey my queens. You just individually hotkey your hatcheries, pretty much.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Do you ever hotkey your army at all, or do those go on 5+?
My hotkeys at 5, 6, and 7 usually.
Okay. Interesting.
Like mutas are 5, lings are 6, banelings are 7. That's pretty much it. I can get back to my hatches, and if my queen dies, I can still get back to my hatches, which is kind of my important point of it, at least for me. And if I ever go past 4, I just, like, if you see my 4 button is just 2 hatcheries.
You want to send me the Axlav one?
Yeah, let me try and find it. It's a much better game.
Have you ever played, I've actually played some really good games against, oh no, he's in your team, Optic Zero?
Yep, I've played him.
What do you do, oh, well, never mind, I don't know. He beat me in a couple games using insanely massive amounts of Blink Stalker.
Yeah, it's a QQQ build.
What counters that? But then again, I usually play versus Protoss with Muta Ling, and I know I was heavy on Muta, so I don't know, what do you think?
Blink Stalkers are the counter to Muta.
Yeah, exactly. So I know, so I kind of know why I got rolled there. But what? Yeah. I guess Roach High would take that. So never mind. All right.
Well, a good thing against it, just you gotta worry about your composition. You want just a bunch of bases. You want to use lings properly. You want to abuse the fact that he probably doesn't have any Robo Bay early. If you let him get up to max, like 200 stalkers with upgrades, very difficult because he'll just transition into Colossus very quickly. Like, okay, I lost my stalker army, but now I have Colossus with whatever I have left.
Sure.
So you gotta just kind of like attack earlier. Don't let him be blinking in and harassing you. If you go to a late macro game, it's the most ridiculous thing, but you need Broodlords, Ultralisks, Roaches, Hydras, and Infestors.
Okay.
To deal with his army composition.
Okay.
Infestors A to deal with whenever he blinks under your Broodlords, Ultras to make him go Immortals, Hydras to deal with the Immortals, Roaches to deal with everything else and be kind of cannon fodder with the Broodlords to help. If he throws in Storm and like has a mothership, you just type good game.
I ran into this Protoss. The most ridiculous thing. I Nidus killed his main, and he went mass carriers. But I couldn't win. He went mass carrier, mothership, Archon.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know. I made mass corruptors, and the Archons were fucking me up hardcore, and I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, I think the key is just like kind of what you said. Just you gotta use the corruptors properly.
Sure.
And just pray. Don't let him get a huge army up or you lose. So their armies, when they get to 200 with those compositions, Zerg doesn't have a comparable unit.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
Making 200 Hydras and then just remaking it continuously.
Hey, just curious, this is an idea that I had a long time ago, kind of just picking your brain. Do you think it would help the balance at all of this game if they were to lift the supply cap to punish certain races for turtling?
Yes and no. Yay, it would help Zerg if we had more population. Boo, it would also make it easier because now Terran, instead of having only a 200 army, has a 230 army. But if you only upgraded, like, say, Zerg's population, yeah, that would help.
Well, I don't know if I would feel that would be fair. But I don't know, just for the times where like Terran can play for so long off of 2, or like if a Terran sets up 3 bases, you're in for a 45-minute macro game, you know, even if you're on 5. Sometimes it kind of sucks. Like what you said earlier about we were looking at it, I don't know what it was. You said earlier, once you hit 200, you have to hit the Protoss as soon as possible. You know, you can't just let the Protoss build up. Well, that's more because of the fact that once you're at 200, you're stuck at army, and he's just going to catch up. And then once you're equal in army, you get kind of fucked for it. I don't know. It'd be nice if they were punished for turtling by you being able to overpopulate. You know, go more than 200. But I don't know. All right.
The flip side to that is that if they have a bigger population, they can probably just take 3 bases and turtle and. Like kind of like what you said, oh, you'll get 230. The problem is, eventually, through their turtling, they'll have a 230 army.
Yeah, sure.
And that would probably be really hard to deal with if they just turtled and got to it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have to see the balance testing. It might work.
All right, I was wondering. Find that replay?
Yeah, one sec. It's kind of a cool thing. It has a lot of cool, like, unique ideas. I like it. I think this is it. Let me see. Yep. This deals a lot with like windows and just dealing with certain things that are weird that Protoss does.
Okay.
So I like it.
Replay saved.
And I'm not by any means saying that my play here was the best or anything, but I liked the build because I don't see anyone else really doing it in this matchup. Just something to think about as well.
Replay saved.
You'll see what I mean when we watch the replay.
Alright, I'm loading it up.
Alright, just let me know when you're at 0-0 and faster ×2, and you can even like get rid of your timeline so you don't know how long it'll be.
You can get rid of the time. Oh, cute. Okay.
Yeah, isn't it neat?
Great, Battle.net 2.0. Now, if only we could watch the replay together. Alright, okay, you ready?
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
If only. If only, then I could type to you and be like, hey, ask something. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I killed his teammate.
Oh boy.
Yep.
LZ Gamer doesn't seem like he's that great of a player, I don't know. Maybe I just caught him in really bad games.
He just hasn't been very active lately. It's my best example I can tell you. I mean, he's never been like amazingly good.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, he's very good. He's a very solid player. He used to be a lot better, but then just recently he hasn't been playing much. This is for the FXO tournament. I do the same sort of gas first and then spawning pool build. OGSJ, a Korean Zerg, ended up taking me out with something very similar to your build.
That's scary.
Might want to look into the Xenio build.
The Xenio build?
Yep, do you know what that is?
I don't.
Might want to look into it. It's basically you get 6 infestors right away and do like a timing push with it.
Okay.
I'd never seen it before that game, but then I watched some GSL maps and or matches, and they were just doing it all the time in ZVZ. So they're like, oh, we're just gonna copy Destiny. We like that build.
That's cute.
We'll adjust it a little bit if you're being Korean.
Is
Anyway.
he, was it a 1 base or 2 base build? Just curious.
One base.
Oh wow, 6 infestors?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just expand, go into roaches, and do a specific timing push with like 7, 8 roaches, and just a bunch of infestors.
Okay. Huh.
And the goal is you can A, fungal them, and B, throw down like 20 infested Terrans, and
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
really
a quick
good.
thing I'm gonna bug you about. You said 4 lings quite a few times now, but I noticed in this game and the last game you made 6 lings. Is that a glitch, or you just normally make 6?
I normally make 6.
Okay, okay.
The goal for it is you want to be able to push past his zealot. Like 4 you can do it, but 6 is easier. Like here I just use these 6 lings. Again, just the best of my ability.
Sure.
Just poke in, kill stuff. Anyway, here he just goes Stargate. And here's the kind of weird thing that you probably haven't seen. I just take 3 bases, and I just start making queens and drones. I don't even get any more units.
Sure.
and
I
think
understand this.
is-
The Phoenix are going to be flying around harassing you, but they can't actually damage infrastructure, so the Queens are to defend from the air, and the extra hatcheries just to punish him for playing kind of greedy.
Yeah.
Or to outgreed him. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just expo that 3rd time right away against this sort of fast expand.
The only thing that I don't like about this is that
Yes.
he sees you scout the Phoenix and he throws down 3 gates and just starts producing an army. Do you think that's a
Yep.
possibility?
Nope. And the reason for it, like this is something it's gonna sound really weird.
Okay.
But look how many queens I have, like right now. 4, 5, 6, 7 queens.
Yeah, lots of Queens. I'm seeing
Now
it.
I see that. I'm gonna see that with lings, and I'm just like, look at, I have so many minerals. Is the point here?
Uh-huh.
Like I didn't get gas until right now, and I'm just not getting the lair. The point behind it is I make just lings constantly out of all these bases, and lings and queens are amazingly strong against that. Especially
Okay.
since I have speed, it's really good. If they decide to get something else, I just throw down spine crawlers, but usually just lings at this point, or even just tier 1 tech like roaches and these queens with all the transfuses. It's
Sure,
really
I understand.
good.
Yep. He
But
would,
I mean,
he would
here-
need a very big army to take out. He couldn't just throw down 3 gates and start pressuring you. He would have to actually build up a lot of stuff to take out this many queens.
Yeah,
And
well,
the
just-
fact that you can produce a ton of lings.
Yeah, I mean, just look at all those queens. They're
Yep, cool.
they're
Okay.
in a little baller army. And then I throw down a Spore Crawler once I want to start attacking with my army or whatever. But he got greedy. He tried to take a third right away.
Yeah, I see that.
And you know it's a good counter to what I was doing.
Yeah, because your queens can't move off creep, so he